Alright guys, back with another video. So Vesper, and I don't know if you know who those guys are, they're the agency who helped Northern Perspective create their logo. They're a digital advertisement company, I believe. And they posted something yesterday I just wanted to share with you guys. So it's a quote from Brian Mulroney, who was the Prime Minister back in 1980, in the 1980s. And he says, "Do you really believe that if the Liberal government returns, that there's going to be any real change in the attitudes of those stalking power here in Ottawa?" Interesting. So let's have a look. It's just under 2 minutes long, and then we'll talk about it after.
Do you really believe that if the Liberal government is returned, there is going to be any real change in the attitudes of those who have been stalking power here in Ottawa for 20 or 25 years? Remember that the Liberals made four promises, four solemn undertakings to Canadians in 1980. They came before you, and they said four things and then put them in the throne speech. First, 18 cents a gallon is too much, and it went up to over $1.50. Secondly, we're going to reduce unemployment. When they made that promise, there were 800,000 Canadians unemployed. There are now 1.5 million. Then they said we're going to reduce the growth in government expenditures. It's gone up from 60 billion to 100 billion. And then they said, we give you a formal undertaking that we are going to reduce the deficit in an orderly manner. The deficit's gone from 10 billion to $36 billion a year. It took Canada 100 years, from 1867 to 1967, to accumulate a net debt of $18 billion. And from 1968, with Mr. Turner there and his colleagues, from 1968 to today, 15 years, our net debt has gone from $18 billion to $180 billion. That's not the fault of the Americans, as Mr. Turner suggests. That's not the fault of our friends and allies. That's the fault of the people who have been running this country, who have been initiating deficit financing, who have been spending more than they could take in, who have been crippling the private sector. There's a new day coming for Canada, and that day brings new hope and new prosperity. The Conservatives, we have never contended we're perfect. We need your help. We need your advice and your counsel, and we will always honor your trust. Our commitment is to Canada, and our commitment is to you. Do you?
I mean, unbelievable, right? Blaming the Americans, spending way too much. Let me guess, there were some scandals back then, too? With a certain former Prime Minister's dad? It's kind of crazy. Ever since the 80s, it's like the Liberals, or really even since the 70s, the Liberals have just been abusing their power. Like, really? Like, you're 18 billion to 180 billion in 15 years? You increased the debt 10 times over in 15 years. See, I wish I got involved in politics a little bit more when I was younger, because I didn't know that. I do know that the Liberals and Conservatives used to get along a little bit better. Now there's more of a divide. And of course, people say it's the Conservatives, it's Pierre Poilievre's fault. It's not. It's people who continue to believe lies on mainstream media versus people who have common sense. That's really the divide. And each side kind of looks at each other like they're stupid, but yet one side, the right side, is looking at what's been happening in the last 10 years, and they want change. The other side, let's just say naive. Let's just say they're naive, right? The naive side is thinking, no, it'll be different this time. Like, I don't know how many of you are sports fans, but, like, just imagine, you know, you're a fan of the, I don't know, Chicago Bears. And there's a GM there for 10 years, and no good draft picks. Every free agent signing is terrible. Can't find a quarterback. Overspent money. Now you don't have draft capital. You're over the cap. It's a mess. And then that GM comes out in his 10th year and says, hey, guys, we're going to fix it, and it's going to be the same regime to do it. Except we're going to replace only one guy, and then everyone else is going to be the same, and they have the exact same ideas. You would go nuts as a Bears fan, right? If the Leafs did it, if the Rams did it, if any team did it, if whatever team that you root for, if they did that, you wouldn't believe them, whether you're conservative or liberal. But when it comes to politics, for some reason, nope, let's just keep giving them a chance. Why? Because the Conservatives are evil. How? Well, because they haven't voted for any of these bills the Liberals wanted to pass. Oh, great. Look how they turned out. First of all, they didn't need Conservatives' votes. They had a supply and the supply and confidence agreement with the NDP, essentially forming a majority. They didn't need Pierre's vote. They didn't need any conservatives' vote. They can get things done on their own, as they did. And how did that turn out, liberals? You're so upset you didn't vote for all these bills? Why? Because they slap a good name on them? Oh, there was a housing bill. Remember when Justin Trudeau said they were going to build 500,000 houses in a very short amount of time? I can't remember the exact time frame, but it was just ridiculous what they were saying. And of course, that promise wasn't coming true, like usual. Budgets will balance themselves. Did you believe that too, liberals? But then again, you're watching CBC, CTV, propaganda sites. It's not real news. They don't cover Pierre Poilievre and Mark Carney fairly. They're clearly trying to manipulate public opinion. Trump, 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 Trump this, Trump that. Everything's Trump's fault. It's craziness. But a lot of people are believing it. But we need young people to turn out. Especially young blue-collar men and women. The ones who don't take polls, but you need to show up tomorrow. I'll be there, voting in Hamilton Center, so hopefully maybe I'll see some of you there. If you know any younger people, bring them. And tell them how important it is to get the Liberals out, because it is. Also, don't forget I will be live streaming tomorrow. I'll be starting around 7:30, 8 o'clock, but I'll make another video before that tomorrow. I'll let you know exactly what time, and I'll post it on my community page as well. Speaking of my community page, just wanted to go over this. I put out a poll today. One more day to go before the biggest election of our lives. How are we feeling? And there's just over 1,200 votes. 51% are nervous. 13 very worried. But only 36% of people are feeling either great or good. So there's some nervousness. I got to admit, I'd put myself in the nervous column too. It's going to be interesting to see. There's been so much public manipulation. I don't know if it's worked. And I don't know how many of the 18 to 29 year olds are going to show up and vote conservative. They only showed up at about 45% last time. That number needs to hit closer to 60. So, again, get them out to vote. Come say hi on the live stream. I know there's a lot of people streaming, so, I don't, of course I'm not going to be able to hog everybody, but that's okay. I'll be checking out some of their live streams on my phone as well. The Pleb, Northern Perspective, see what they're saying, see what's going on with them. But yeah, come say hi, ask a question, hang out with me for a little bit. And hopefully we end up having a good result and having a great time. But we shall see. And lastly, I just wanted to end off with a Pierre Poilievre ad. Don't let this be Canada's reality. We can't afford a fourth Liberal term. Vote for change. Vote Conservative on Monday. This is just under a minute long, so let's have a look. Yeah, this is nuts. In 2040, owning a home is not a realistic goal for many. Most new homeowners get help from family members. Well, they're going to be broke too, so good luck with that. This is insane. People may start to hunt, fish, and forage on public land and waterways without reference to regulations. Small-scale agriculture could increase. You know why they said that? Because they said groceries are going to be too expensive, so people are going to have to forage. They aren't even hiding it, guys. And they say Pierre's evil. It's insane. Pursuing post-secondary education is no longer considered a reliable path to social mobility. That's right, because who wants to get in debt for $50,000 to go and make $30,000, which isn't enough anymore? Even then, it's not a great deal, but back in the 90s, making $30,000, that was pretty good, right? Especially if you're making $30,000 after taxes, you're making about what, $2,700 a month or so, $2,500. It's not bad. You know, considering you could rent a place in nice cities for just a few $100 back then, you were on a path to owning a home. And you were educated and had a decent job. Promise broken. More people may struggle to afford rent, bills, or groceries. The resulting stress could worsen mental health challenges. This would increase demand for social services. See how they create problems and then they have to spend more money to try to fix it? And people wonder why Pierre Poilievre doesn't want to vote on these retarded liberal bills. I know I shouldn't use the R word, but it is that. I mean, to be a liberal supporter with things like this coming out, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That's right, they're not even trying to hide it. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Trying to make them a little bit longer for you guys, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how you like them. But again, please don't forget to like and subscribe, drop your comments, and also come join me, say hello tomorrow night when I'm live streaming for the election. And I'll be back shortly with a new video.